Mach 1. Between this eventful... It's going to be a ZVZ, guys. Let's just decide it right here.
I don't even know what to think. If we get two ZVZs or three ZVZs, if we go to 3 games, we get all Zerg. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I mean, you
That
already lost your mind
it's not
at the
it
start of this
doesn't work.
group.
It's not how life works. It's not how life's
I mean,
supposed
life
to work.
finds a way, right? I mean, life is a Zerg player.
Oh, he didn't find a way Thursday, but he found a way Friday. Wait, Wednesday,
Yeah, he beat
Thursday.
Innovation. He lost a dream.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun matches there, but come on, Jacobus, can you do it, buddy?
Zerg,
Can you
Zerg.
get some?
The dream is over, boys.
Dream is over.
Uh,
Oh, so sad, but we do have our players spawning in the bottom rights. Our Zerg player that isn't Jacobus,
for once.
for once. From Team Composite, in yellow, it's Nefarious.
Hi, boys, it's a Terran. Look at this. Oh my god, random isn't broken. Blue Terran Jacobus for all inspiration in the top left. Oh my god. He's happy for once.
Yeah, a little bit of luck for him. I assume he doesn't mind playing Terran. He's confident enough in Terran versus a Zerg that he's going to put this depot down, not even at his walls. So
Yeah.
that says something. That
Yep.
says something about his TVZ
Yep.
skills.
That's because he's going to barracks wall off later on. Spoilers.
Yeah, is he going to go for a CC first?
It'll be a CC first or a 1-rack gasless expand. Because if he goes Reaper, he has no reason to go Reaper because in a Zerg player you don't really... Okay, we did have that one time where he like the guy in the round of 32, I forget who it was, but he like blindly 9-pooled or something, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
worked out. You don't normally blindly like do something aggressive against a random player because you have a chance to meet like a depot wall off. So I think this is fine. I mean, actually, we say that. All right, forget everything I just said, guys. This is a 13 pool 12 gas.
Huh.
So I don't know, like this is going to be aggression, and that's
Maybe,
a CC
I don't-
list.
Maybe Nefarious thinks that he's actually playing a Zerg player and he wants to go for that. But I mean, that's going to work out pretty well if he does go for this. Even without bans, if he just goes for just speed, that's going to be plenty to really put some pressure on the Jacobus. We do see a barracks coming up at the near the main ramp,
It's just
but
kind
that's
of
not
there.
going to help.
That's-
Yeah, it's just kind of there. I guess Jacobus, he can lift the CC and help wall up. I think maybe that's what he's planning to need to do, because he can lift that CC, put it to the right of the barracks, and then add another barracks below his first racks. And he'll be able to, I guess, stay safe, but that assumes that Nefarious isn't going to get across the map very quickly. He's going to have the gas for speed. He does have that started. He hasn't pulled out of gas either. So it's still going to be extremely aggressive. Perhaps once he gets up to 50 gas, he'll pull out and go for the Bane. And it's like this is actually supposed to be the 13-12 life Bane Bling Bling all in from ZVZ, but okay, 50 gas is here. Is it going to be a Baneling Nest right now? What's
Could
going
be.
on? Should be.
Nope, it's a hatch.
Huh. So what's the gas for? Is he going to go for Burrow? Okay, no. I think it was just a mistake.
Yeah, he just pulled out. He's now left 1 in gas, so he's going to have another 100 gas. I think at this stage you just kind of have to buy Burrow just for the cool points, right?
Right? It's a fun build.
Yeah, cool people get Burrow. I heard.
Oh, he's going back into gas now, so I don't know. He's gonna be pretty happy once he gets in and sees that it is a CC first. It's on the low ground. There's really nothing out right now. There's 2 barracks, or actually there's a barracks and a factory on the way. So these lings can do a lot of damage. You're going to be able to kill off the SCV that's building the bunker if he actually pays attention. No, he's not paying attention. He's going for the bunker itself, actually, which could work out pretty well. He could actually get in top of the Marines, but actually are able to get into the bunker. He's not quite paying enough attention to that. He will have to walk away from this a little bit, I suppose. That bunker will get repaired. There is an SCV in the main base of Nefarious that has seen everything. He knows what he's playing against, I guess.
Yeah.
But still seeing this gas here, and the gas isn't being used for anything. We have 200 gas already for Nefarious. He doesn't use it for anything. He's going to go for a quick lair? I don't know. What's he doing with the gas?
I don't know. There was, yeah. This is. I'm getting some serious deja vu here. I mean, we're not on Varney Research Station, but this is like a crazy fast layer again. At least it's not layer before Zergling speed, but what do you do with a layer this fast? I mean, You can't get Overlord speed with that because it's now on hatch tech. I think it used to be on player tech anyway.
Well, he could. I suppose he could still. He's going for the 3 more gases now. I was gonna say, I suppose you could go for a Roach-Warren and Abandon Us at the same time and get those to finish up with Lair, and then go for both of the speed upgrades and do some sort of all-in off of that. But I guess going for these next 3 gases now, I suppose he wants to get into more tech play, get into Aspire, perhaps.
Yeah, it will be
But
Aspire.
it's gonna be the same situation as the game 2 for Jacobus, where he just didn't have the gas to actually make anything for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, Nefarious does have a lot more drones in his natural than
Yeah.
Jacobus did in the previous game. But normally I find, at the very least in like ZVZ, when you do this build, you want to get the minerals saturated before you get the gas done. Otherwise you're kind of left with a lot of gas, and you don't actually have the minerals to spend it. Maybe I'm going to be wrong here. But, I mean, we are seeing what will be a 3rd hatch going down by Nefarious as well, and that's another 300 minerals that's not going into these mutas that can't be spent with the gas bank up. Yeah. Maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'll be wrong, for Nefarious' sake.
Well, it's not like Aspire is a bad thing to have in a TBZ,
Yeah.
but it's kind of a matter of when are you getting this and how are you using it since you have it. If, like you said, if he doesn't have the money to actually make that effective, it's a bit of a waste. It's just, I don't know. Again, he's playing a random player. His initial build was clearly a kind of a bit of a mess for him because he clearly wanted to do something with those lings. He didn't get anything done with them. He forced out a repair on a bunker. That's honestly all he's done so far. Now there's Hellions out that are going to be poking at this 3rd base, poking at the natural wall up as well.
Ooh. Hang on, he see a Roach-Warren and 2 Evos. Has no idea the Spire's there.
That is quite true. We do have 6, 7 mutas on the way already. How is Jacobus going to parry? He does have a tank on the way. He's adding more and more barracks here. He's actually got a Viking on the way as well. So this Viking may be the accidental scout, a little bit of an advance warning for the mutas if Jacobus doesn't scan. He does have the energy for at least 2 scans, and I think he has 3. He has 3 scans available, so he just needs to figure out what's going on. I mean, this Spire is placed in a really nice location. It's going to be hard for Jacobus to actually get that scan correctly if he's scanning behind the main mirror line and then the natural and maybe the 3rd. He could miss the Spire completely, but Muta's out in the field now. They're going to come in. They're probably going to be a complete surprise. This Viking even maybe not going the correct direction to go find those even.
Yeah, these mutas are being really sneaky. That Roach-Warren was complete fake by Nefarious. I really like that play by him, actually. Because Jacobus, I know he likes tanks anyway against Lingbane Muta, but I mean, he'd much rather be pumping out a lot more Marines. He'd definitely be getting missile turrets. He is completely turretless right now. This Viking did stumble upon the mutas, but the mutas didn't attack the Vikings, so only if Jacobus was actually looking at the minimap, which he wasn't, would he be building turrets. So these are a complete surprise. The Roaches have arrived in the main base, Kappa.
I was really concerned that Jacobus didn't have engineering base, but he does have 2 of those down. I would hope so, considering he has +1/+1. He does have STEM, he's got those upgrades available, so he's going to be able to chase the mutas away, but now it's going to be a bit of an effort for Jacobus to actually deal with the mutas. He's going to be kept back for a really long time. Luckily, Jacobus, this is Deadwing, he's set himself up really nicely behind this 3rd base, this extra ramp wall here. He's got some tanks here, and he's got a few Marines, not many though, so if the mutas do try to fly in there, they could take out the Marines first and then take out all the other defense, which would be rather annoying for Jacobus to deal with as well. We do have turrets starting to be built here by Jacobus pretty much everywhere. He's got a couple in the natural, he's got some in the main. He's starting to put some in the main base around the periphery of his base, protecting that production line as well. So Nefarious isn't going to be able to just swing in and kill off all of those add-ons that Jacobus has worked so diligently to get put onto his barracks. It's a lot of production capability for Jacobus, doesn't quite have the money for it.
Oh my god. Yeah, Nefarious tries to go in and harass this front, but the Lings just get completely annihilated by all the tanks. They didn't actually do anything. The blood splats are still on the ground there from that attempted little poke at the front. I don't think Nefarious is going to be trying that one again anytime soon. And Jacobus has finally locked down everything. He's finally remembered Combat Shield as well, so good job for that. He still has forgotten the +2/+2, but I don't think actually that's going to be forgetting, because now seeing that it's a 2-base muta play, and having played it a few times as well, he knows that delays the 1/1 for Zerg, so he can delay his 2/2 as a result. He is now getting it and still maintaining the upgrade lead. But Nefarious, I think he just wants to bust, by the looks of this.
looks to be the case here. I mean, he's got a hatchery down at his fourth base, but he hasn't made drones in a really long time. He's only sitting at 64, making nothing but lings and banelings. I assume he has bane speed. Yeah, he's got bane speed at least. He does have +1 for the mutas as well, which is a nice little addition to that. But there's enough turrets around here that, assuming Jacobus is able to actually get a repair off on those, and with the Marine helping as well, he should be able to deal with those. But every stem that he does force out is a lot of damage here. There's not many medevacs right now. There's only 2 medevacs total, actually. They're still not producing any. Jacobus is so worried about the mutas that he hasn't actually prepared for this apparent bust that's going to be on the way. So a lot of banes already out. He's already got 15 banes. He's just hashed a lot more. So he's up to over 24. He's up to 27 banelings now. That's quite a bit. These tanks, however, I don't think he can bust into this even if he wants to. If he wants to try to bust, he's going to have to go in through these rocks at the natural base and then kind of just appear to get any damage on, because he's not going to get through this tank line right now.
Yeah, but the only way you can quickly get through those rocks is by using the banelings on them, and you really don't want to do that. And by the time you get through with the lings and muses, I mean, Jacobus is going to be able to hear the nibbling away at the rocks, and he'll be able to figure that out. So, I mean, Nefarious, I think, just has to be annoying at the front and maybe distract while the banelings roll in the front, but there's still Hellbats, a bunker, tanks. Tanks are going to have +1 in a couple of minutes' time, so Nefarious has to attack within the 2 minutes, otherwise his banelings are going to be really forfeit.
Yeah, there's one Thor that's actually caught, but we do have the engagement happening. Banelings trying to roll in here. They're getting on top of the supply depots, actually getting on top of the tanks. The tanks do go down. All these Marines are such low health, but so many of the Banes just go down to that wall off. And there's still 2 tanks remaining as well. There's even a Thor here. There's actually a Thor that's caught by the CC in the bunker. They can't get out, so there's even another Thor available. Jacobus really needs medevacs right now. He's got 2 more that have popped out. He's up to 6 now, which is nice, but 2 or 3 of those have pretty much 0 energy. He just needs to keep producing units. He is on these 3 bases pretty happily. He's actually up to 73 workers. He's going to be trying to take his 4th base here momentarily, but once again, Nefarious is going to try to swing in, but going into all of these tanks and all of this, wow, I'm not sure how well this is going to go for him. A couple of the tanks are on siege, so the bases are getting right on top of this, but decent split backwards does keep all his lives. The CC just barely survives. A lot of the SCVs do go down. 14 go down. He doesn't even repair that, but still, he's still at 60 workers, so I'm pretty sure he's okay with that. The Lings have this around that 4th base, forced to lift out there momentarily. Nefarious, for the moment, all he has done is stall. He does have a hive that's about halfway finished here, but if he doesn't actually have the economy to back that up, I mean, he's gotten basically no minerals in the bank. He's got very little gas, so what is that hive tech going to be actually used on? He is going for infestors, it seems.
Yeah.
To try and lock down this bio, since Jacobus is so marine heavy.
I mean, even with the infestors, Jacobus, his factory units of choice are Thors and tanks, which, I mean, unless he's going to get Neural Parasite and hope that he got the Wings of Liberty Neural Parasite, I'm not sure how well infestors are going to do here, because the siege tanks are going to completely annihilate any infestors. Yeah, it may be like a Great Aspire play. That might work, because there's so many tanks. But he's got like 300 gas, so that'll be a Broodlord.
Yeah. There's just so little right now. I mean, being on even base with the Terran player at this stage of the game, he has saturated this 4th base finally. He's up to 84 workers, so he's going to start ramping up that economy to where he wanted it about 5 minutes ago. But Jacobus is not going to let that happen. He's going to start pushing across the map, and this is a kind of a familiar sight from seeing Jacobus play, is these kind of pushes. He's going to push out. He's obviously very comfortable in his play, going for the tanks. He's not playing Roach Hider, but he still has 8 tanks out here. Is that 7? It's 7 tanks. I count very well. Still,
close enough.
It's still a lot of tanks. There's not a lot to deal with them. There's some mutas, but that's going to be the bulk of how he deals with it. And even the bio alone is going to be able to trade pretty well against what Nefarious has. Jacobus needs to be careful not to extend too far out without this tank cover. Yeah. He's spreading those tanks so well, though. He's in such a wonderful place. I mean, Nefarious trying to set up a flank here, but I think it's going to be scouted out pretty quickly.
It is a pretty huge flank here, but the tanks, they are beginning to attack the Banelings, but the Banelings will crash on the Thors there, actually, and Nefarious is 100 supply versus the 200 of Jacobus, and drones are being massacred at the 3rd. I believe there's a total of 9 creep tumors out on the map, so Jacobus doesn't need to bother scanning for these guys, because, I mean, there's no units to really run on the creep tumors at this stage. I mean, Nefarious is going to attempt to get these Ultralisks out, but I fear they're too late. They take so long to build, even with the time reduction they got in a previous patch. And this is a very long 55 seconds Nefarious is going to wait for, and then there's still the Thors and the tanks, and Marauders are being begun to produce. There's +2 mech weapons.
Even these rocks here, denying Nefarious can't get down there and actually defend his bases. One Ultra actually pops out from that 4th base location, so it's out in the middle of nowhere. And he's kind of forced to engage with the few Ultras that he does have, but those get melted extremely quickly. They don't have their characters upgraded. They're still only at 2-2. Nefarious is going to GG out. So Jacobus, in his first game as not being a Zerg player, is going to take the victory here. So congrats to not Zerg.
Finally, yeah,
Finally,
he's been waiting all day for that Terran, and I don't know, that went pretty well for Jacobus then. Nefarious, I mean, I'm not sure what his game plan was there, and I'm not sure that he's sure what his game plan was there. Obviously, it's difficult going up against a random player, but he opened up with the very aggressive build, and then decided to make, I think it was 4 Zerglings, and mine 300 gas, and stick it into Leia, and I guess muted. And that kind of worked out okay, but I get the impression that maybe if he committed to either the aggression from the 13-12, and then all the mutas, maybe one of them would have done a lot better. Then the second, Nefarious also just decided, okay, he scouted out, you have 4 tanks, a bunker, turrets, hellbats, buildings, a very defensive position, and decided just to bust up, and I would have much preferred him taking extra bases then, saying, oh, okay, you're just going to sit there? Cool. 85 drones, Great Aspire, Infinity Creep Tumors, what are you going to do? You're sat there doing nothing. Yeah. That would have been... Jacobus actually picked Terran, so we should redo.
Oh, did he? No.
So, second map will be Overgrowth.
Game paused.
That was a problem. Yeah, as actually being a Terran player, like the lobbies default you to like, it's a silly thing.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, good job. I was looking at it. I don't know why I didn't check in the lobby. I just saw it on the loading screen. So we both sucked. Maybe it's an omen.
Maybe it's an omen, yeah. Maybe we'll get Terran again.
Maybe we'll
probably get
Protoss.
Protoss.
Just
make us laugh. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has some plans for Protoss. I know that I mean, that's all he's told me. So.
Surely you have plans with Protoss. I mean, you have to. That's how Protoss works.
Yeah, you can't really ad-lib Protoss very well. There we go. We got random. We got all in. We got composite. You need to be a ref. And good. I don't get ref.
Nope.
Up tier.
Nope. So we are getting back into game number 2, quite possibly the last game of the evening. If that is going to be the case or not, we'll wait and see what Jacobus actually spawns as here, if he's going to spawn as literally Terran or not. Yeah, I got a Zerg tooltip, but we'd have a Zerg player, so you never know.
I got a Terran tooltip.
All right, so
Terran. No, Zerg!
Oh.
Tooltip, screw you, tooltips! But I was right, so there we go. Oops, Jacobus has 2 points now. No, he has 1. There we go. Alright, spawning in at the top right of Overgrowth, it is the yellow Zerg player, not Jacobus, otherwise known as Nefarious for Team Composite.
And his opponent in the bottom left as random, spawning as Zerg for the 6th time this evening, is Jacobus.
Yeah. 6 out of 7.
Are we going to see the same build from Jacobus once again?
Yeah.
I imagine so. I mean, it worked twice. It worked very well the second time. It worked on this map once already, even. So there's really no reason for him not to do it. If it keeps working, he may as well. And once again, sitting the Overlord in the pathing that he does, I just love seeing it from Jacobus, realizing that it's going to confuse his opponent a little bit more. So if Nefarious, I mean, I feel like last game Nefarious was trying to meta himself and then plan for a Zerg player, and it didn't work out for him. So he may do the exact opposite in this game and plan for not a Zerg. He is setting out a very early drone scout, so he's gonna find out. But this is a drone that's not mining right now, so that's a little bit of an advantage already for our random player here. Let's see if he's once again. I think he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna go for that hatch gas pool and into the banding nest, and then just start flooding Sweetlings and Banes and try and take a victory that way.
Yeah, it's worked very well for him so far, and I don't think he has. I guess the only reason not to do that would be Nefarious' build in the previous map on Deadwing was the 13-12. But I mean, all Jacobus actually saw from his point of view was, oh, you have 4 lings just kind of poking at me. They don't even have speed. I guess you might gas. I don't know what that's for though. That's all he really saw in the previous game. So from our point of view, we have a reason for Jacobus not to go hatch first because, oh, what if the 13-12s again? But Jacobus, he doesn't really have that fear. He's just going straight for the hatch gas pool. Nefarious has scouted it again. This is the 3rd time he's now scouted it. So I think now, surely, he should know what's going on. Actually, he's doing a straight mirror build, so he's just copying, which is really nice.
Yeah. I think as soon as he saw that his opponent was Zerg, he went for that gas first rather than going for a pool afterwards, and he's just going to set himself up to play the exact same game that Jacobus wants to play, and just presume that he's going to have superior skills in the League Blink. Well, we saw that in the previous games. I mean, yeah, Jacobus won those, but he won them pretty inefficiently, to be honest. So if Nefarious is more confident in his control and he wants to play that kind of a game for a little bit of time, he should be okay to do so. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But by virtue of having that single drone out scouting, these queens are a little bit later here for our yellow Zerg player. I mean, the queens are already about 10 seconds in here for Jacobus, and they just started a second go here for Nefarious. Speed is on the way for both players here. I expect to see the Bailing Nest. There we go. Bailing Nest coming down for Nefarious. No Bailing Nest just yet from Jacobus, but he's not yet up to 50 gas, so assume as soon as it comes down. Yeah, 50 gas, Bailing Nest, both players. Gonna be a fun match.
Yeah, Nefarious does now build the second queen as well, so I think he's probably just going to have to adopt the defensive mindset here. But, I mean, he's just straight copying what Jacobus is doing in this game. I think he's just expecting it. He's seen it twice in a row. It's probably in his odds just to expect this build again, because if you do any amount of research into random players and how they play, they're either just randomly really cheesy, and Jacobus isn't really that kind of player. So if they're not that kind of player, it's normally, well, they have one build or a few set builds they know per race, and that's kind of it. So Nefarious is well prepared. He's morphing Banings already. He's seen the Ling streaming across the map. He knows what's up. Let's see if he can micro it well this time.
One thing for Nefarious, he's only sitting with two drones in gas, so not quite the gas income that his opponent has. Jacobus did go back into 3. He's got 5 bathings to use here. He's not splitting them up. There he goes. He does split up finally, but one of them gets sniped off by a queen. Very well done there by Nefarious. He's gonna get. He doesn't really kill anything. He uses the bathing on the hatchery, so no damage is really done there by Jacobus. At the same time, there's some links on the other side of the map here for Nefarious. I think Jacobus knows those exist, but hasn't really prepared for them. There's not enough links. I don't think they probably should be able to kill at least some drones, maybe the queen itself even. Yeah, the queen's gonna die there, so Jacobus is gonna try and turn back home and deal with this. He does have some more lings of his own pop out, but now he's going to be facing up against an opponent who's well prepared for this. Nefarious already has 2 Banes made. He's got 2 more joining those. He's actually got up to 6 Banelings now. He's splitting those up as best as he possibly can. So he's not going to be caught off guard by this. And now Jacobus has a whole lot of links. It looks like he's almost expecting his opponent to be countering him. He's got these Banelings on the right side, but those are actually now going to be joining the main army. Jacobus is looking for those links. He's going to find them as well. So superior link numbers will be going in his favor here for sure, but still, is he going to be able to actually attack his opponent?
I don't think he'll be able to, and I think both players are realizing that as both players are now opting to drone up. Jacobus with a few drones, Nefarious with the 10 drones, and we are going to have this dance in the middle of the map here. Let's see how both players' Ling Baneling control is. Jacobus is actually doing very well, just getting a couple of those Lings onto the Baneling, getting a 2-for-1 there. Both players are just opting, yep, okay, we're kind of done with this. Nefarious is deciding he's going to throw it on the Roach Warren, the Evolution Chamber. Jacobus, though, he's also now throwing down the Roach Warren as well, so yeah, we will be going into the mid-game here, and I like Nefarious' position a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. With the extra drones, he's already up to 30 to 20 drones right now. He's got a nice little lead there. I think he may even have a Ling lead at this point. He's barely under Lings, but enough Banelings to deal with this. Banelings are rolling in here for Jacobus. Actually loses one to a single Ling. Once again, not controlling very, very well. Loses a lot more to pretty much nothing. He actually exploded that on a queen, but there's a lot of lings here for Jacobus. He needs to not let these die to these banelings too much. There's enough here for Nefarious to deal with, and then the banelings from behind as well for Nefarious, taking out most of what Jacobus had. This attack is for sure over at this point, and there's even lings in the main base that have they killed the queen here in the main, I think, for Jacobus. So. And actually, they're going to town on the drones. 7 worker kills already. Going to get to 8, maybe even 9. Not going to quite get 9, but now all the lings are over on this side of the map here for Nefarious and Jacobus. They're not going to get to this roach warren. He's got no roaches in production, actually. He's got some banes in production. He's trying to make that work, but lings are on top of everything right now. And the worker count, 28 to 14. Yeah, the banes pop. That's nice, but he's got nothing but banings right now.
He's got a ling. That one ling. There he is. He's going to try and be a hero. He's still alive. The one ling might make the difference here. All jokes aside, Jacobus is still alive. We will have the first right shot on the map so from Nefarious. He will be making a few more. His +1 is on the way as well. He's not opting for the layer. To be honest, he doesn't need the layer. I would like to see a second gas so we can spend some of these minerals on roaches as well. I guess he could just take a bunch of lings as well. He is in a commanding position for this game. Just casually sitting outside the natural of Jacobus, morphing a few banelings. He's in control. I think he knows he's going to be winning this game shortly, as long as he doesn't move command into a bunch of banelings.
Kind of like Jacobus just did there. Yeah. Most of those lings did die off there for Jacobus, and now the Fires has a lot left over on this side of the map. It's not, I guess it's not really enough to necessarily kill Jacobus, but we got 60 supply to 29 at the moment. Lings are on top of the natural base, even the roach here as well. Killing a couple more workers, got 2 worker kills. Yeah, the queen is still alive here in the main, that's nice. But only 20 lings in production right now, that's all there is. I just get one more inject off, that's going to be the last inject, probably of the game here for Jacobus. With the roaches swinging in as well. A few more banings being morphed by Nefarious. He's looking to even up this series, looking to give Jacobus just his second loss in 6 games. That's there he goes. It does GG out. So we'll be seeing the last map. It's going to be Catalina. It's going to be the last map of the night. It's going to be their game 3 here in this series. It's going to be deciding who moves on to the quarterfinals to join Mr. Lando here from Group D. Oh, goodness.
Is he going to get Zerg again?
He still hasn't seen Protoss. He's got to get Protoss once, right? He's got to get Protoss once. He probably gets Zerg again, though.
I think with the way tonight has gone so far, it's going to be Z, right?
Right. Always. Poor guy. You prepare all these builds in your mind. You prepare to play as a Protoss player if you need to. Get things worked out, and then you just never get the chance. It's got to be sour about that. But both players are ready. We are on Catalina. Going to be spawning into our very last map of the night. Again, it says the Chobar Star League. I am TBHam, with me, Stark. Stoked. Almost finished. I'm actually pretty hungry, so I'm actually okay with that.
Well,
these things happen.
I mean, now that you said that, we're going to have a Mech vs. Stormhost game in the last game, so...
Oh, God. I never thought about that situation, right? Jacobus played Bio. He played Bio in...
Except versus P. Sosa.
Dang it.
Where he played Mech. And we got a Terran. I'm just saying.
It's possible.
On the cards. So, in the top of Catalina, flipping the coin wrong with his Overlord, sadly, we have the Yellow Zerg player, 14 composite. It is Nefarious.
And his opponent in the bottom right, our random player spawning as Terran. In blue from All Inspiration, it is Jacobus. So you've said this a few times in the past few days, how Catalina is the map that Terran players do all their crazy stuff on.
Yeah.
Do you think, Jacobus, this being his main race, he's got to be a little bit more comfortable with it, a little bit more comfortable with the different builds you could possibly do as a Terran player, especially on this map. Do you think he's going to go for something, or do you think he's just going to try and play a standard game? I mean, he already won one macro game versus our Zerg here.
Yeah, he has no reason to do anything crazy. He basically, if he was 1-0 up, maybe he would do something crazy, but it's 1-1. If he loses, he's out, done. He is out in the round of 16, Nefarious moves on. So this is Jacobus' best build right now. We won't be seeing anything crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Either that, he has ginormous balls. It's going to be one or the other.
We don't see a gas yet. So it looks like is he just gonna go gasless even? So he's still that confident of a player in his own play to open up gasless, which can be really frightening. If Nefarious, I mean, he's gonna get in with the drone pretty quickly. Well, I say that Jacobus throws down the depot, so this drone is not actually gonna be able to get in and scout that it is gasless. Um, with that, it could tip off Nefarious a little bit, perhaps, but it is still not something that Nefarious is going to have to take lightly. He has to get in there eventually and find out what's going on, but had he seen that it is gasless, he could have made the decision to start in his mind, how can I all in now? What can I do? Oh, that too, I suppose, but he's going for the pool instead. Waiting to see what kind of when gas comes up for Nefarious. If he wants to try to punish if he figures out that this is gasless or not.
So, Jacobus, what do I know that you do from here? We haven't seen him do the old barracks wall-off style yet, so we might see one of those. If he's going to play super safe in this game, then he'll be barracks walling off his natural. I know he does that a lot. From Nefarious, though, I mean, we're up to 17 now, and he's opted for the Overlord instead of the gas, so this is going to be a gasless opener by him.
Yeah, no reason not to, really. He hasn't really seen anything to tip him off, tell him that he can't do that. Curious if he's going to send this drone. Is that going out for just going to chase the SCP, I suppose? Make sure it's not putting down any bunkers. It wasn't going to go out for a third hatch or anything this quickly. 2 queens on the way here for our Zerg player. He's gonna set himself up nicely. He's got the links coming out. He's got 4 links coming out to deal with any possible Reapers, which aren't going to be the case. Marines are actually moving out already here for Jacobus. He's got 2 moving out. He's looking for Overlords, I suppose, but one of those is actually in his main base. Just wants to go hunting. He's going to run into one of those that should die off. The one on the left should die off. And maybe if he turns around with a Marine, he could catch up the one that's in his main base right now. But this is going to be a really big annoyance here for Nefarious here in the early game. Losing Overlords, especially if you lose more than one, is pretty much a disaster if that happens. But
he's also already got supply box to 28 as well. So he was building 3 Overlords before this one even died. So maybe that supply box was a blessing and a curse. But it was something that happened.
Yeah, the extra queens are going to be a little bit later here for Nefarious. He gets 1 extra gas. He's got a Roach Warren coming down. Was that I saw? Yes, a Roach Warren is on the way. So Roach Warren off of a single gas this early. Is that just can he make enough units? Or is that just going to be defensive?
He doesn't have any gas right now. He only has 1 gas, so this will give him around 50 gas by the time this Roach Warren finishes. I don't think you can expect to be aggressive off of this. I mean, maybe he'll prove us all wrong, but we have no Zergling speed. Not going to be. He has 3 queens now, so I'm pretty sure this is a defensive play. I mean, all he's seen so far is that 1 gas has been taken and there's a bunch of Marines out on the map.
Oh, he's going to lose the second Overlord too.
Oh, that's so painful if he wants to go into
the only Overlord that's on that side of the map as well. There's nothing even close on the side. Without speed, he's going to be completely blind to what Jacobus is doing for such a long time in this game. So this gasless gamble here by Jacobus is playing off pretty well, and he's completely ignored getting a factory. He's got 2 more racks. He's got 1 with the tech lab getting stim. So he's got a 3rd command center as well. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
So he may just try to push across with a bunch of stim Marines early. Except I'm not sure if he's going to go to a factory at this point. Medevacs are going to be pretty far behind the stim here. I'm not sure what that's going to be used for. If he's going to just go for, like he's playing a Protoss player, try to snipe off a base or snipe off what he can with some early units and then kind of fall back from there.
I think you've nailed it pretty much on the head. I have seen him do this once in the past. Yeah, it's basically like an anti-kind of Protoss build, or a really old-school Wings of Liberty build, where you just move out as soon as you have the 2 medevacs. And I believe that's what we're going to be seeing here around the 10-minute mark. He has figured out that Nefarious has chosen to take a 3rd base, and Nefarious' single Roach has finished now, so a little bit of defense there for him. He will be going up to the layer, building a 2nd Roach, also getting the link speed, so a few options here. Maybe these are just like a couple of Roaches just in case, but he is building even more Roaches now, so we might see some kind of old-school Stefano composition, like Ling Roach Infester. That's a possibility. He might just be getting Ling speed just to have, and then go into Roach Hydra. Or it might be the Dark style, Speed Roach, Speed Bane, Speed Ling, Corruptor. Might just be a bust off of 3 bases. There's a lot of options right now for Nefarious.
Yeah, with this 3rd hatchery finished up, he's He only has 4 drones over there. There's not a queen over there to inject right now. It's just slowly waddling her way over. She will start injecting that. It's going to be a lot of production capable. We do see 6 more drones in production. The lair is finishing up. We do see a Bane nest come down with this lair, so possibly this could just be a bust coming with all of these roaches and with some Banes as well. It's going to be rather late. Jacobus, I mean, he's pretty well set up to deal with these. He's already got 1 bunker up front. He's finishing up 2 other bunkers here. I don't think Nefarious' Ling has enough vision range to see those extra bunkers, so he's not going to see that. We do have the Glide, or whatever.
Roach speed.
Yeah, Roach speed on the way. I was trying to say it correctly, but that's not right. And Caribous upgrade as well. So it's just definitely going to be some sort of attempted bust, but how much is Nefarious really going to have with this, or is this just going to be trying to knock down a third base that isn't yet taken?
Yeah, I mean, Jacobus, he's a tank player. He's already got 1 tank out. He's going to have a 2nd tank very shortly. He's just scanned the natural, and he sees the Spire. I'm not sure if he's seen a Roach. I think he must have seen a Roach because he's got these 3 bunkers out now. So I think, yeah, he is going to salvage these bunkers now. But I think, did you know if he's seen a Roach? I mean, either way, he's going to be building tanks anyway because that's his thing.
Yeah, his SCV that was patrolling out in front of the natural did see a Roach eventually at one point. Earlier before it got killed off, so it knew that was coming. Nefarious did try to poke up with those roaches that did absolutely nothing, and there's just so much army here right now for our Terran player. He's got a decent amount of armies play, and Nefarious is trying to morph these Banes over here right in front of the face of Jacobus. I mean, obviously he sees that with the command center, so Nefarious isn't afraid of that. I mean, Bane speed is still so far away. There's no way he's going to attack right now. I don't know if that was just to scare him away, I suppose. It did force that CC to go back and land. He's got to wait for the medevacs at least until he decides to move out and take that third base.
So what do you do from Nefarious' position here? I'm most interested to see if we're going to see Mutas or Corruptors, to be honest. Is he going to be trying out that Dark Style? Because that's something that's pretty new. We aren't going to be seeing that Dark Style. We have the single Mutalisk into the supply block here for Nefarious, so there is still the potential for the Corruptors. That 1 Muta might be a mistake, but we are having an enormous amount of Banelings morphing in. That's 20 Banelings right now. That's my kind of thing. I'm a fan.
Yeah, a whole lot of Banes coming. We have a double drop moving on the right side, actually. He gets scouted up by an Overlord. He's just going to drop and kill off that Overlord and probably reroute this drop, put it somewhere else, or before he actually moves into the drop, just be pressuring with the rest of his army. But it looks like he just wants to make sure he secures his third base before he does anything too aggressive. Looking for a 4th hatchery that isn't there. Actually stemmed all the way forward to try and deal with that. Actually, all of the army is moving across for Nefarious. He's actually getting caught out. All of his Lings in front here. The tank's already got a few shellings done on that. There's a lot of Banes over here, though. Not a lot of units here for Jacobus. He's going to have to split his heart out to deal with this. There's so many Banelings. I mean, the tanks are nice, but oh god, the SCVs need to go back home. Yeah, there we go. Most of the Banes have died off. This tank on the high ground is going to do a lot of damage. And on the other side of the map, the drop did get cleaned up. The double drop did get cleaned up over there. So all those units are dead. The third base is evacuated. Jacobus only lost 2 SCVs, so he's not in a terrible position, but this does mean that Nefarious has the upper hand. He's going to keep Jacobus back for a long time. The army supply right now is 61 to 42 in favor of the Zerg, which really shouldn't be happening if you are in Jacobus' position. Losing the units from the double drop the way he did, he just wasn't able to pay attention to that while he was dealing with the attack at his main. Dropped his supply significantly, so he's way down where he wants to be right now.
And Nefarious is a player that he has shown he likes to attack, so if Jacobus can hold this attack, he's going to be very happy. He's got a tank on the high ground there as well. These SCVs are mostly tanking shots for Banelings here, which is actually a kind of a blessing for Jacobus here, but he's losing a lot of units, but actually he came out okay there, I think. I mean, the supply difference is now only 20. I say loosely.
Yeah, the Mutas do flock in, but there's still a lot of Marines out here that seem to stem forward. Nefarious had kind of poor Muta control in an earlier game, so he may possibly lose some of these, but right now he's doing very well, just picking up more and more SCVs, being more of a nuisance to our Terran player, and at the same time he's just pushing across with so many Lings. He does have another hatchery set up, so once he does want to transition, he can do just that, but for the time being, he's just going to keep flooding in with Lings over and over. Nice pickup on the tank there by Jacobus, keeps that alive. It was getting surrounded by the Lings there, but still, mutas are in the main base, almost completely unchecked. They are getting shooed away now. Nefarious is starting to get rid of a little bit too much supply. He did morph in some banelings back here now, starting to try and get everything all together. He's killed off 24 workers recently, so that's really nice for him. He's going to kill off a lot more workers as well. Mules actually drop. The banelings, if they just go forward, are going to get a lot of kills. Jacobus needs to pay attention. Just split here. The tank actually going to get taken out. The banelings focused on the tank instead of anything useful. A bit of a waste there, but mutas are still a bit of a factor, but now only 4 of them. Jacobus is starting to push this back, but he has lost quite a bit.
Well, Nefarious has actually lost 50% more in this game so far. Jacobus barely scraping 7,000, while Nefarious is approaching 10k. So I think Jacobus is actually relatively happy this game. He's going to be a bit disappointed with the amount of SCVs he lost, but given the fact that he's still alive, and Nefarious is still trying to attack like crazy, I think Jacobus is beginning to stabilize it if he can survive this huge wave of banelings.
Yeah. Pushing forward a tank when he did is a bit of a mistake. That tank did pretty much nothing. There's still the tank up on the high ground. It's got 43 kills on it, no less. He's surviving as long as he can, which is nice. The mutas should probably go and focus on the tank, but they're just going to get taken out by Marines. There's only 2 left. The last muta is about to go down. It's going to survive, I guess. Okay, there's actually more mutas back here, so never mind. Doesn't matter. There's still a little bit left. Jacobus actually picks up what he has in his main with his one medic. He's going to start chasing away these mutas. Jacobus is surviving, but now his own gas bank is suffering so horrendously right now. He just can't keep the SCV count rolling the way he wants to. He's down to 45. Yeah, having three CCs, having mules is nice, but still needs to actually have some sort of economy base set up that's a little bit better than this at this point.
I think he's actually okay with not having this much gas. He's got his 2-2. He still has 11 medevacs, and he's triple producing siege tanks. So I think he's pretty comfortable. And there's this one Marine on the other side of the map going gung-ho on these overlords, but that's pretty cool. But we're going to go back and look at these banelings crashing in once again, and I think Jacobus... Oh, no, the third CC goes down. I mean, that was a huge trade of banelings, and Jacobus will take the supply lead, but he lost his third CC.
He's got the supply lead, yeah, but he's got those 11 medevacs you're talking about, which is nice to have, but when you only have 27 Marines and you have 5 tanks, it's going to be really difficult for him to actually move across the map and do any damage. That one Marine on the other side of the map does finally get taken out. All he did was damage a lot of these overlords. He didn't actually kill anything. Jacobus he's pushing across the map now. It's just a pretty strong force here, but I think Nefarious, if he just keeps producing, he just needs to keep producing as many units as he possibly can, as often as he can. It's a lot of Banes, 27 banelings in production now. Jacobus, once again, cannot get caught out. In the game on Deadwing, he's in a much better position than he is now. Right now, he's going to get caught out. As I was saying, these tanks are not quite sieged just yet. They're trying to get sieged up, but banelings are rolling in already. The tanks are going to get taken out by the medevac, or the mutas as well. A few Marines do live. The mutas of one last tank does get shot down by those mutas there. I think the hero tank that had 50 some odd kills, I think maybe even 60, did finally die, but now there are no banelings right now. There's a lot of medevacs. Each Marine has basically 2 medevacs to heal it. So that's pretty nice, but we do have an Ultra Cavern on the way. And what is Jacobus actually producing back home? 8 Marines at a time, and really that's about it. He's transferring almost all of his SCVs over to the 3rd base location now. He's just trying to get damage on where he can. Maybe we'll take out this 3rd hatchet, which is going to be nice, but so many bangs in production still, and so many lings in production. How many larvae does Nefarious have? He's got 21, but so low on money right now.
Yeah, but what do you build with that lava right now? I mean,
he wants to build ultras, I guess, but he doesn't have the gas for that. And he wants to build lings, but he needs the gas to make banelings to make that worthwhile.
Oh my god, there's so many medevacs here, and the weak Marines at the top of the ramp that have been stimming across the reinforced take most of the baneling shots, but I think Jacobus is happy to lose those ones. And Nefarious, he's trying to engage this squad of Marines, but there's like so many medevacs here that, yeah, Jacobus has to pick up, I think, there, and picks up onto the high ground, but this game is gotten ridiculous. As soon as Nefarious can afford an Ultralisk, I think he'll stabilize, but I don't know. Like, he's on 3 bases. Jacobus is kind of on 3 bases. He's on 2 bases, basically. But all he needs are minerals. But there's a huge link counterattack going to the 3rd base, and Jacobus' reinforcements are nowhere to be seen yet.
I swear there were a lot somewhere, but there they are. They're actually killing off the mutas all in one little flock there. The CC is under fire. It needs to lift. There it goes. That's finally lift, but a lot of these SCVs, almost all of these SCVs, should probably go down. The Marines are going to have to give chase, but they're so far behind all of this. There's no wall to speak of. There's a wall at the main, but that's about it. There's a couple Widow Mines up here that could do a ton of damage, but actually going to do a lot of friendly fire damage as well, probably. Nice split there from Nefarious. Actually makes a lot of those SCVs take some more damage. Now 12 more SCVs gone down. There's another lean counterattack over at the 4th base killing some SCVs as well. Jacobus, despite he's got a decent amount of army, but they're all in the red for the most part here. This CC is still on fire. No minerals to speak of for our Terran player. He needs the lift, but he wants the mules, I suppose. Medevacs need to start healing.
He's got enough medevacs. These guys are going to be fine with a bit of a rest, but I don't think Jacobus... Oh my god. Okay, he's picking up a few medevacs to go drop on that 4th. He's not ready for these 2 Ultralisks. I know it's only 2 Ultralisks, and I'm actually not being sarcastic here. I mean, the best defense Jacobus has against these Ultralisks right now is stimming off of creep. I mean, the Ultralisks won't be able to catch up, but he has no Marauders. He's building Widow Mines now, but he has none of the tanks from before, and I don't think he can even move this far off creep yet, or out of his 3rd yet. He needs to deploy these Widow Mines, like, now. Please.
Widow Mines are not actually getting deployed. They're going to come down now. Actually, can make every single banding just went down to those Widow Mines. That was a massive connection there. The Ultras are still a factor, and he's having to evacuate this 3rd base location. The double drop on the left side is still a factor, but there's nothing on the left to actually defend this for Nefarious, so he could lose this entire base over here. But I don't think he cares too much. He wants to go ahead and attack. He's actually got an Infestor of all things on the way, as well as another Ultralist. He's going to be going for the actual only mining base of Jacobus now. That's going to get lifted off, but all of the SCVs are going to go down. On the other side of the map, Jacobus does take out Nefarious' base, and that's going to be kind of army versus army, 116 to 97. He needs to stem backwards. Another couple Widow Mine shots go off. Actually, one Widow Mine shot goes off on an Ultra there, so that's nice. Ultras do turn around. He needs to stem. He's not paying attention to this. He's microing his drop right now, I assume. One Ultra is about to get killed off here. Widow Mine shots should take care of that, actually. One more stem will take care of this last Ultra. The main base is under fire here. Nothing but Lings to deal with this. +3 attack is finished as well for these Marines. Nefarious is kind of falling apart. There's one Infestor, one Fungal. That's all he needs. Doesn't get it, though.
Doesn't bother trying. This game... Okay.
This game is absolutely insane.
So we have a bit of a breather here. Let's take a recount. So we have the main orbital command. Yes, let's look at orbitals first. We have the main orbital, the 3rd, 4th. It was from the natural, has relanded. There's another base. Actually, Jacobus kept his original 3rd still alive. This drop is still going on. That finally gets cleaned up. The 3 Marines. These 3 Marines are actually going to make a difference, because Jacobus does have the army supply lead right now. It is 17 workers versus, like, this extra base here, I don't know what base it is completely oversaturated right now. So that's how Jacobus is making ends meet right now with his 17 SCVs, and he's not rebuilding them. Jacobus is completely all in on this, and he's just trying to out-multitask Nefarious, and the supplies are still really even. Jacobus has a huge army supply lead. Well, it's like 9, but that's big, given the game.
Yeah, the Widow Mines actually may do a lot of friendly fire damage. It's going to be a big problem. Actually, a ton of damage onto Jacobus' own forces there. Oh god, the last Widow Mine took out the medevac that was full of units as well. Oh, that's awful. That is awful for Jacobus, and he's got to know it. He's got to know, hey, where did all my units just go? Why did these Widow Mines just do that to me? They were the hero. Oh, the Fungal as well takes out a full medevac. That's pretty much the end of Jacobus' army. He's got a little bit back home, but not enough to deal with these Ultras, not the Banelings. All of the rest of his SCVs go down as well. He's only got 5 left now. The Widow Mines are still here. They're going to get some more kills on workers, I suppose. Actually, he's making a spine crawler out of one of those. The 2 Marines that left over from this initial double drop are still alive. They're still doing damage.
And that's
this game's still going on.
I mean... The supplies are 91 against 54. There are 5 SCVs, and Jacobus has finally decided I need to remake these guys. The drop is going to get cleaned up at last. These Widow Mines are actually killing all of the drones in this 3rd base. So, I mean, yeah, Jacobus has 7 SCVs, but Nefarious used to have nearly 60. He's now on 30.
This is ridiculous. These Widow Mines are still here. I'm sure he wants to move those away, because there's an Overseer up here. He's going to lose all the Widow Mines now. He's just poking up there, making sure they're not active anymore with a few of those Lings. One more shot even goes off there. He's going to try and defend these Widow Mines, realizing that this is probably his last chance to stay in this game, but those do get taken out. And he's going to have to pick up and get on out of here before too much more goes down.
This game, it's evening up, kind of. I mean, there's 80 supply against 50.
30 workers to 8 in favor of a Zerg player.
But the income is in favor of the Terran because mules.
Oh god, he's got so many minerals right now. Where did those come from? Where did he land a base? Once again, he's evacuating his base. And I think Jacobus wants the Jacobus wanted the banelings to go off on those SCVs, but it's not going to be the case. Defias did pull his back. It's a lot of bile that's up here still, but the Medivacs, there's only 2 of them. Jacobus, this one Ultra gets stemmed out quick. It's going to die immediately if he actually attacks it. Marauders take almost all the banding shots. Again, just kind of poor control for both players, just going back and forth. Who's going to control poorly? He's going to have to micro against us as best he possibly can. Does not want to get caught out by any of these Ultras. He's trying to focus each one of them down. He's trying to give chase, and he needs to actually boost the medevac so he can keep giving chase and heal at the same time. More and more bandings being produced behind all of this, though. And I think Jacobus is just simply running out of steam. He needs to land and put down some mules. Actually, Lane's coming here and surround all of the Marines one more time. Jacobus is going to tap out there.
What a game!
What a game. We've seen some ridiculous TVZs to end. I can't even think right now. CSL's groups. Wow. That was insane. How did that game last that long? Like, looking at the graphs is pretty ridiculous. It's just so up and down for both players the entire game.
Yeah. The work is active graph, like... this game! Oh my god, the resource collection graph was pretty up and down as well. That's some mules for you. Wow. That was a well-played game. Sorry,